What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So the time is now. The 42nd World Tournament is here. So we have already begun grinding. The World Tournament for me actually just started, let's see, like 40 minutes ago-ish. So I am already jumping on the grind. So I wanted to get this run on film here because it's going to be my 7th win right now. And there are some missions that you need to clear for getting 7 wins with a Mastered Evolution character, and with a Realm of Gods character, and with a World Tournament character on your team. You have to get all 3 of those done if you want the Master's Mark medals from the missions. So this guy here is on the team because he is both Mastered Evolution and Realm of Gods, and then we've got these guys on the team because they're World Tournament. So they don't really matter much. They're just kind of units that are there. The main units that we're obviously dealing with are the Brolys, because they're all going to have AoE attacks for us, and then the Krillin as well. And then Chaozu is just here for his amazing stunning ability that he's going to be able to do. Ooh, we even got a bonus drop team and a burn tower. Fun fact, for those of you that don't know, when you're in the World Tournament Finals, if you get this map here, and you look at the tower, and it's broken down like this, and all the rubble is on the ground, all these little rocks and stuff are around, that means that all of these medals here on the map are going to be Master's Mark medals. At least the gold ones will be. So you'll want to pick those up, because those are a very rare medal to come by that you use to awaken all of your World Tournament units. Okay, so we'll have to use a Ghost Usher since Jocko didn't show up. But that is okay. Should work out for us. Are we going to get a link? There we go. That works well. We'll be able to get the super attack with Krillin, and because we are at such a low multiplier, because we've only won 7 times, we can't get up to that times 30 multiplier yet, we should take these guys out in one hit. Should not be too difficult. And then after we win this one, we'll go collect those medals from the missions that we have achieved here, and then we will switch up our team and use a more serious team as we get higher up here. I just wanted to showcase winning with that team. So we got our 7 wins in a row there. Excellent. There are the missions we just got. I love Ramen. What a wonderful name. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and back out, and we will collect those missions real quick. So we got the daily ones done for completing the World Tournament 3 times. Perfect. So we get a couple stones there. Very nice. Few other little items as well. Alright, and then we have all of these done for winning once, and for winning 7 times with all of the required team members. So there we go. We get some more goodies. Alright, now let's go ahead and hop back in. Okay, so we are able to participate at the times 20 ranking here, almost up to times 30 at this point. Now we're going to switch our team a little bit. So I have 2 other team builds that I've got here. So the first one, this is going to be an all types team. Now the reason I've got this team built, basically every unit on here can do an AoE attack, except for our leader here. Everyone else can do an AoE attack though. And the reason I have this team built is because all LRs is a good strategy to use for the World Tournament. If you use a team of full LRs, you're going to have the maximum team cost that you can. Team cost is what determines what teams you go up against when you are hopping into the World Tournament. And because LRs have the highest team cost, actually, yeah, so it shows right here. If you want to know the cost of a card, you check right here. It'll show you the team cost. So 99 is the highest cost for each card. Free-to-play LRs have the highest team cost with 99. Summonable LRs only get 77 team cost, as you'll notice here. So that is the big differentiator there. But yeah, so you're going to want to include as many LRs on your team as possible to get the most team cost, and then you'll be fighting the strongest enemies that have the most team cost, which in turn gets you the most World Tournament points. So you will be accumulating them a lot quicker if you are doing that. And then the downside of using this team is that you don't have access to using the Jocko and Chaozu on your team. So for those of you that don't know, this SSR Jocko and SSR Chaozu card both have a passive skill that says May stun all enemies. What that actually does is on the first turn that you bring them into the fight, they are going to guaranteed stun the entire field. So in World Tournament, that is absolutely amazing because you're going to go into the fight. If you have Jocko or Chaozu on the rotation, all the enemies will be stunned. You won't have to worry about taking any damage. You can dish out an AoE attack or two and then just be done and move on to the next phase. So it's very, very useful to have Jocko and Chaozu on the team. But their team cost, as you can see, is ridiculously low. So that is going to hinder you a little bit, but you'll be able to get through fights a lot quicker because you won't have to constantly stop to use items to defend yourself. So there's a bit of a trade-off there. So yeah, these are the two teams that I have got built. I've never actually tried a full LR team, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to jump in with a full LR build here and see how we're able to fare. And then obviously my items setup that I have, I didn't talk about it yet, but really quick, we'll go ahead and look at it. So I've got a Ghost Usher, obviously, because you're going to want to make sure that you can protect against, if you're in a bad situation, that you can just delete the enemy's attacks. And then we've got the King Yema as well, just in case we run out of Ghost Ushers by happenstance, then we can also reduce our damage received by 100% if we use both of them at once. And then the other two items here in the top right corner and the bottom left corner are just to help us build ki if we're not able to get off super attacks. As I'm not sure how our rotations are going to go and stuff. So we will see. Let's go ahead and take a look. Wow, it looks like we do get a lot of ki here. Okay, so that is really good. Starting out on this team, it looks like we're going to be fine. Not a lot of links, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. We're still able to get enough ki for this team to be able to super attack, so that's good. And then, luckily, we had no attacks there in the first slot, so we didn't have to bother using an item or anything. We're able to just chug through this quickly. And I did leave the Krillin on rotation as well, just because I want to leave all my AoE units on rotation. And not really worry about having the Ginyu off rotation. Though that might be a mistake, because the Ginyu is a support unit here. And I think that the Broly can hold his own. We don't necessarily need the Krillin on rotation as well. I'm going to have to play around with this team a little bit and just see what the most effective strategy is for it, because I've never used it before. But as you can see here, we are facing off against an all LR team. So it looks like our strategy is working a bit here as far as it pairing us up against the strongest enemies. So that is kind of interesting to see. Okay, so here I'm going to use, we're not quite at the full multipliers yet, so I think it's okay. I'm going to take the risk of not using the Ghost Usher. I don't want to waste them because they are kind of limited for me. I end up using a lot of them when I go deep into these world tournaments, so I want to save as many as possible. We'll just use the King Yema for now. I think we should be okay though here. Yeah. Still early on. We're not at that times 30 multiplier yet. Once we're at times 30, then it gets a little more treacherous. We're also only in the preliminaries, which don't hit as hard as like the finals would. So that is another factor too. And we had type advantage there, so I wasn't too worried about us taking damage on that hit. But ultimately, I would say it's never advised to take damage in the World Tournament. You always want to try to not take any damage at all if you can avoid it. That being said, I am going to not listen to my advice and do exactly the opposite. So we'll go ahead and do this. And then, unfortunately, Vegeta has to get an Ultra Super if he wants to do an AoE attack. So he will not be doing an AoE. But I think we should be fine. Okay, yeah, so you can see there, even under 50% damage reduction, we're already starting to take a little bit of chip damage. So you can see how lethal that can end up being later down the road. Or if he were to have done a super attack and then everyone gets hit with a super because he has an AoE, that Broly that attacked us, then that could have been very, very bad. So definitely a risk anytime you choose to take damage in the World Tournament. Okay, so not too bad there. Okay, we'll go ahead and make a cut here, and then I will finish up this run with this team, and then we will come back in once I am using the alternate team with the Jocko and Chaozu, and show you guys how that one works out, and then we'll finish up the video here. Alright, so we are back here ready to go in for another run. We have got the times 25 unlocked here. So we'll go ahead and hop in, and we are going to try out the next team. So we've got Jocko and Chaozu here. Now, this is an interesting build. You can just bring a Broly, which I recommend, but you could also technically bring a friend Raditz if you wanted to as well, because he is going to be an AoE unit. That helps you out a little bit there. But I don't think it's necessary. I think that the Broly is still a better unit to bring as a friend. Okay, so right away you can already see that we got matched up with a bunch of TUR teams. These are not full LR teams. We can see by the leader. Because our team cost is a lot lower, we end up getting matched up with all of these teams that have TURs with them. So that is a really, really interesting note. Something that I've only more recently caught on to with the World Tournament. So I'm going to try to pay attention here and see if there's a real big difference in the amount of points that we end up getting. And then if so, that may sway my decision toward using that full LR team. So in that last full LR run there, I didn't show it, but I did earn like 370k points just from the final. And it wasn't like a boosted team or anything. It was just a normal team. But yeah, I ended up getting 370k from it. So we'll see what I end up getting in this final to know whether it is worth to be using, to be using a full LR team, or if you should just be using a team of TURs with like the Jocko and Chaozu for saving some items. Because as you can see here, this is already a lot quicker. We don't have to bother busting out any items. We don't have to worry about any of that because Jocko and Chaozu pretty much have us covered. Okay, just one more enemy here to destroy. Oh no, he took my points. Now we have to kill him. Alright. Yes, full protection from Jocko Chaozu. Love to see that. More times than not, I feel like the rotations end up working out where they are just available on both rotations on that first and second turn. So yeah, there you go. They stunned the enemies for the entire preliminaries, doing their job for us well, making this go by extremely quickly. And we did not have to waste any Ghost Ushers. Alright, very, very nice. And then, as you can see, obviously our units are still perfectly capable of dishing out the damage that they need to. So really quickly, okay, so I'll make a cut, and we'll come back and do the finals of this stage together with this team, and then we'll compare the points to what I got on the previous run. Alright guys, so we are jumping into the finals of this same stretch here. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's see what kind of team we get faced off against. Oh, and of course it's a bonus chance team. That's actually really annoying because it's going to be hard to compare the points that we earn here versus a bonus chance team. So I guess we'll go ahead and see if we can look closer at the point breakdown just to see how we did in comparison. Because like I said, we earned 370,000 points at the last World Tournament Finals when we were using the full LR team and we were facing off against the full LR team. So sorry about that, my headset shut off on me. So here you can see we're against a full team of TURs. Okay, so looking at it, we got a bonus score of 65,000. So we will have to maybe keep that in mind. We'll see if that affects the total here. And then we got 490. So if we subtract the 65,000, we still earned more points on this one than we would have, or than we did on the previous run. Oh, we're also at a different point multiplier, because we did 20 times, and now we're on 25 times. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to accurately detect this in this video. I'll probably have to come back in. I'll make a separate video comparing the two and see which team is actually the most optimal. But for now, those are some options for you to be able to get into the World Tournament. Obviously, with how many different AoE units are in the game these days, there's plenty of different teams that you can build to get through the World Tournament. So those are just a few nice and easy examples of how to get through it. So hopefully you guys found this informational. We will be coming back with some more World Tournament updates. There may not be too much content on the channel coming up because I do intend to grind the World Tournament pretty heavily, so I might not have a ton of time to do other YouTube stuff while I am heavy in the grinding. But yeah, stay tuned for more, for sure. And if you guys enjoyed that one, then consider being a part of the Toxic Tribe with a like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And that is going to do it for this one. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.